Good morning, boys and girls. This is Pastor Anderson. It is Sunday, March 14th, and we are here with our Sunday school devotion, our 22nd Bible story in our 120 Bible Stories book. So let's dive in and see what's going on for the Israelites today. So if you remember, the children of Israel are slaves in Egypt right now, and God says to Moses, I'm going to do one more plague against Pharaoh and the Egyptians, and after that he will let you go. I am going to go throughout all of Egypt at about midnight, and every firstborn child in Egypt is going to die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh to the firstborn of the cattle. There's going to be a giant cry throughout all of Egypt, and then Pharaoh will let you go. But as for you all who follow God and believe in God, I want you to prepare for my Passover. And I want you to do that by getting a lamb without blemish. So a lamb that has nothing wrong with it, that's a male lamb about a year old. And you're going to kill your lamb at twilight and take some of the blood and paint it over the doorposts and the top of your door in the house where you eat it. And you're going to eat that lamb that night roasted on the fire, and you're going to eat unleavened bread, and you're not going to leave any of it until the morning. Because this is the Lord's Passover. And it's called the Passover because God would see the blood on the doorpost and pass over their house. And so the blood of the lamb would save them from the Lord's punishment. And so Moses called the elders of Israel and told them to do all of these things. And sure enough, at twilight, all of the Israelites slaughtered their lambs and painted the blood on the doorposts. And then at midnight, the Lord comes through the land of Egypt and strikes down all of the firstborn, including Pharaoh's firstborn son. And then Pharaoh summoned Aaron and Moses at night and said, Get out. Serve the Lord. Take your flocks and your herds, your wives and your children, and get out of the land of Egypt. I don't want to see you again. And so about 600,000 men left Egypt that night, not counting the women and the children. If you included the women and the children, there were probably about 2 million Israelites leaving Egypt that night. And God leads the people intentionally toward the Red Sea, and he goes before them during the daytime in a pillar of cloud, and before them in the nighttime in a pillar of fire to give them light and guidance so that they would know where they were supposed to go. Remember, they're headed toward the Red Sea, which will be the place where our story happens next week. And so we are finally leaving Egypt. They've been slaves in Egypt for almost 430 years at this point. That's a long time. And now we're getting out. Praise the Lord. Couple of questions I want you all to think about together as your Sunday school classes. Number one is this. What instructions did God give to his people Israel to keep them safe from the plague of the death of the firstborn? And why did they call these instructions the Passover instructions? And then the second question, the Israelites are saved by the blood of the Lamb being on their doorposts. The blood of the Lamb saved them and their firstborn sons from certain death. How does that connect to you? Have you ever been saved by the blood of a lamb? Ask yourselves those questions, and when you are all done with that, you all can move on with the rest of your Sunday school lesson. God's blessings to each and every one of you, and I will see you on here again next week for story number 23 in our book. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.